What really irritates me, ladies and gentlemen, Denson B. Whittington, the D-Dreams, and this is the Dent Vlog Report. Let's talk about something that really irritates me. When people, especially atheists, tell me, when I tell them my testimony, God's speaking, maybe you need to go and seek professional help if you're hearing voices. Listen to me, crackheads. I'm going to take this segment to break something down to you. When you hear a voice and there's a reaction behind that, that's not insane. That's God speaking. Let me give you some examples. Now, you can say, because of my high school situation where I had a concussion during football practice, I went through an entire practice and a concussion and didn't know it. I'm going to try to squeeze that in. Football practice just started. One of my teammates was carrying the ball. He was already down. I just dived head into the pile. I hit his leg. I jumped up and I felt this, and I shook my head, shook the cobwebs out. When I opened my eyes, I was running sprints. Now, I didn't understand this. This don't make sense. We was just playing defense. So I looked down and I seen all my teammates in the familiar look from after running sprints. But I was dry and I wasn't tired. And I know I ran the same amount of sprints. Mind over matter. Of course, I got mad and I told my coaches off because they supposed to protect me, but they didn't. But anyways, you could say, as an adult, me hearing voices could be the result of that. But like I said, when God speaks, there's always a reaction. Now, this even happened before that high school football. I was a kid. I was telling a story about something that happened at school. I was on the other side of the wood heater, and it was a loose piece of panel on our chimney, and I was swinging at it, and I was looking off and talking at the same time. And I'm on the opposite side of my family on the other side of the heater. And all of a sudden, God spoke. Look at what you hit. And while I'm still swinging, I looked down and I seen that I was slapping a green snake. And he was coming out, and I seen my hand slap it. He did the snake. You know when your head goes sideways and back. And he came back up like he was just, I wouldn't say trying to attack me, but yo, I freaked out. It was a reaction from when he spoke. Now, let's move forward. I seen a vision of God showing me what my future was going to be like, and it was pretty chaos. I can remember, but it had to be because I asked God for his protection. He never responded. I became an adult, and on the urge of going to get prayer, I decided to go get prayer. And it led to that pastor telling me God was going to shield bullets from me. Now, I didn't believe the pastor because I never heard of a prophet or even knew of a prophet. Wasn't even a church person. I just went there to get prayer. But I thought that was pretty cool if it was true. But I went home, and months later, I'm sitting in the house, don't want to go nowhere. I'm playing with the kids, and hear them knock at the door. I go open the door. It's my friend. He had a little panic look on his face. He wanted me to go help him find his brother. And I told him I would, because I seen the fear in his eyes. He feared he lost his brother. So I went in the house, and I went and got my gun and my coat, and I came back out. Before I came back out, I put my hand on the doorknob. This is the first time God spoke that night. He said, don't go with him. And I jumped back like the doorknob was hot. And I turned and I looked and made eye contact with my mama. Let me explain something about my mama. My mama was born with a mark on her chest. See, because her grandmama died from breast cancer, and they had cut off her breast. And her mama was pregnant with her, and she was crying at her deathbed. And her grandma told her mama, baby, don't mark your baby. So when my mama was born, she had 4 nipples. And them gave her gifts. So when I seen my mama face, she seen that something was finna happen. I knew I couldn't go over there and hug her because I know how mamas operate. She ain't gonna let me go. So I gave her a reassuring nod, and I went out the back door. Seen the police, he seen me, he pretend like he ain't see me, I pretend like I ain't see him, and I kept walking. And while I'm going through my search, I decided to walk through the project. Now, this voice jumped out and said, Now, what you walking this way for? It sounded like my granddaddy, but a younger version. But when I turned to check whoever that was, I said, this is my hood. I go where I want to go. And I ain't see nobody. So I shrugged my shoulders, which later known to be dangerous in my life, and shrugging my shoulders. Step some more, I'm under the street light. On the light on the block, surrounded by darkness, and I hear somebody yell out from the darkness. Yeah, fool, you gonna shoot up my grandma's house and come back around here? And I said, that's where they had the shootout. And I was like, that's where God was trying to keep me from coming this way. And then I was like, no, man, I ain't shoot your house. So I live with my grandma. It don't make sense for me to shoot up your grandma's house. And then one of them stuck his head out into the light and showed me his nickel-plated 45. Then he stepped back into the darkness. And I said to myself, there he go. And then I heard, boom. And then followed by pow, pow, pow. I later found out it was that guy that I was looking for with the pow, pow, pow. I was trying to stop them from shooting me. Now, God spoke. Turn now. And I agreed. You right, because I can't see them. And I start turning. What did I do wrong? I didn't turn now. So I spoke and then turned. And when I turned, I heard boom. I felt that punch to my back. I fell to the ground. I felt my legs because I knew I got popped in the back. I pulled out my burner and I emptied it. I'm sorry, y'all. I heard little kids screaming and everything, but I popped it in the area where I seen him. But then when I was on E, I knew the police was going through the alley and stuff like that. And I knew the police was going to come into my life because I just got shot. So I tossed my gun and I got up and I walked off. Look, that was a reaction. Because if I had a turn when he told me to, I probably would have walked out the path of